Well, anyone who's been following the Milo 2 project, anyone who's been following me for years will know that I've always liked things really basic and simple because I'm a fairly basic and simple kind of guy. But you would have also noticed that in Milo 2, we're using nothing but the best. In fact, you know, at this end of my career, I'm not prepared to use anything but the best. It's a nice place to be too, just quietly, especially when there are products like this available. This is all REDARC gear, which is the best in the market, okay? Made in Australia, now that's going to help at any time, but it's also from Adelaide, tech capital of the known universe, certainly the known universe as far as we know it, down here in the Southern Hemisphere. So what have we got? Well, we've got a REDARC battery management system. Now, this is a 30 amp system that does absolutely everything. You can plug your solar panel into it, you can take it home, plug it into the house. It's just like a caravan. All of a sudden you've got house power everywhere, your batteries are being charged via a smart charger. The rest of the time it's looking after them. It's separating your starters from your house battery, all that kind of normal stuff, but it's doing it in such a manner that you can see what's going on. Everything is monitored the whole time. And then a pure sine wave inverter, 1000 watt. Now, I've had a REDARC inverter buried behind the seat of Milo for 4 years, okay? And it's just an awesome bit of kit. It's been abused, it's been full of dust, it's been shaken up, it's been all sorts of things. Works like an absolute bottler. We need good power. We need really good 240 volt power. We need sensitive 240 volt power. Now you might just use that to charge your phone and stuff like that. We've got batteries and all sorts of gear when we're on the road that has to be kept alive, and at the end of the day, you're better off spending the money in the first place to get really good power production, okay, than setting fire to everything, okay? It's about as easy as that because I've done that kind of stuff. And of course, look at this, 190 watt solar blanket. Chuck it out on the roof of the roof topper or over the bonnet of the truck, pumping 190 watts of pure sunshine into your system. So you're probably wondering how come I've gone away from boat switches. Well, just let me tell you why I used boat switches for all those years. It's because every sort of battery management system that the big guys could provide, within reason, I could burn it out in Milo. It wasn't that hard. It just involved lots of dirt, dust, water, going all the wrong places and a whole heap of vibration. Nowadays, this gear is so good, this Australian-made REDARC gear is so good that it can handle Roothy type treatment. What it probably can't handle is Roothy type fitment, which is why I got Smart Richard doing that end of it. And also because it's an investment, you know. You want to make sure that the fitting is as good as the gear. And in this case, the gear is so much better than me that I've got to get Smart Richard to fit it. Why wouldn't you? Righto, let's get into it. I'll go and see if there's any beers in the fridge and get a whip and see if I can get Richard into it.
Right, we're finally getting a decent dual battery set up in the back of Milo 2, which I've been after for a bit of a while now. So we've gone with the BMS, the 40 amp. Now this is awesome because it's got the AC/DC charger as well as the DC/DC charger, and it comes with the management screen here so you can see what's going on. We're going to be mounting the BMS itself on the other side of this panel there. You have the management screen just above it on this side so you can see what's going on. Now the shunt, and this is, without going into too much detail, this is what calculates the current going in, current going out, and the voltage that's left in your batteries, and then transmits it to your screen here so you know what's going on. That's going to be mounted nearer the battery, which will be on the underside of the shelf. And last but not least, we'll have a 1000 watt pure sine inverter, and that will be on the back side of the shelf with to be able to control it just on the edge there. And we'll have a little 4-row 240 volt panel up here where we'll be able to plug all our batteries in. Should be good. It's going to take a while to do, so let's get on with it. Right, so this is the BMS unit itself, battery management system, the main component really. You've got, as always, REDARC make these things to the highest of standard. You've got your inputs and outputs one end, your Cat 5 cable coming out to your battery display, 240 in on the other side, and all this area here is the heat sink, right? And there are various ways you can mount this, but one thing you must not do is mount it upside down. It says that quite clearly in instructions, and that's because heat naturally rises off the unit. If you mount it upside down on something like that, then it's got nowhere to go and it will overheat. So that's why today we're going to be mounting it in a vertical position, nicely tucked away behind the shelf.
Right, well, the BMS system, which, you know, REDARC, it's just fantastic. It's already installed. Richard's installed that. Because you don't need to see that, it's tucked in behind the cupboard here. And up there, we've got the dial that tells you all you need to know. I'm leaving all that to Richard, of course, because it's highly technical type stuff, and there's a fair chance I'll wreck it all. Oh, you're not playing with your gas torch anymore?
No, done that, mate. No, that's just doing the little solar input that's going to be up here.
Oh yeah, what do you
So you
use?
can put your new solar blanket.
Anderson plug?
Anderson, yeah, puddle welded Anderson plugs. Yeah,
Only way to go, you don't lose any voltage that way.
that's it.
Puddle welded,
Puddle welded, that's what I like.
a fancy word for heat it up and solder it.
And then we've got REDARC has supplied a nice cable, big long 5 metre cable and your solar blanket can
Goes
go on
on
the
the
roof, it can go on the floor, it can go anywhere. Yeah.
So do we need any regulator between that
No.
and the BMS?
The BMS controls all that, it's got the
Controls everything?
Yeah.
So what do I have to do?
nothing.
Did you see that look? It's like nothing because you can't do nothing. Just go back to work, will you? Tell me when it's finished. I'll go and play with the rest of the truck. Maybe a grease nipple or a bolt or something I can handle. Right, well, the inverter's in. Richard's finished all the wiring. And this is all you can see from the whole REDARC system. The rest of it's all tucked away beautifully. He's done a lovely job on the wiring too. Squared everything off. All the wires are just the right length. You know, it makes my wiring look like porridge, but it's worth it. It's worth getting it done properly because the gear's so good. I mean, this really is top-end gear. And to match that, we've used the Ultimate Extreme AGMs, which are the best batteries you can buy. And I've got a 120 in the back, a deep cycle battery. The whole back, the fridge, the lights on the kitchen unit, the compressor for the airbags and for tyres, whatever. What else is in there? There's heaps of stuff. And it's all powered off the one battery, which we can 240 volt shore charge, or we can just run off the car as we're running along, and it's a separate system. It's as good as it gets. This is fantastic. Milo 2, brought to you by the best names in the business and a whole bunch of my mates helping out.